Every once in a while, you step into a home that feels like it exists for a reason. And this one was born out of tragedy. This is the estate known as Braebourne, a Mediterranean-style mansion built in the early 1920s along the Fox River in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And to understand why this house exists, you have to understand the man who built it, Frank Emery Murphy. Now, Frank Murphy was born in Bangor, Maine on September 18, 1862. He was the sixth of 12 children born to Simon J. and Ann Murphy. His father was a lumberman with vast holdings in Maine, Michigan, and Wisconsin. The family lived in Detroit while Frank was a boy, and that's where he received his education and where he took his first job as a lumber inspector for the railroad. From the beginning, his life was shaped by industry, movement, and responsibility. In 1886, Frank's father established a sawmill in Green Bay. Frank was sent there to act as secretary-treasurer of the company in a position he would hold until 1894. In 1887, Frank married Emily Cohn Harris, the daughter of Theodore Harris, who built their home at 1912 South Madison Street. But Frank Murphy's family life would soon end in tragedy. In 1889, his son Forrest died at just 15 months old. Less than a year after that, his wife Emily died during the birth of their daughter, also named Emily. In a matter of months, Frank Murphy lost his wife and his son and was left to raise his daughter alone. For many years after, Frank and his daughter lived with the Harris family in their home on Madison Street, but it never felt like home for them. But at the same time, there was no rush to build, no immediate monument that needed to be done, just life continuing quietly as he raised his child. And then in 1920, something changed. Frank Murphy began building the estate known as Braebourne. This wasn't a temporary home. This wasn't speculative. This was intentional. Braebourne would eventually become the home his daughter Emily and her husband Dr. Robert Coles made their own. A place meant not just for one generation, but for continuity. When you walk through this home, it's impossible not to feel that it was built to protect something. After decades of living with loss, after raising a daughter without her mother, Murphy chose permanence. He chose scale. He chose craftsmanship. He chose a style that stood apart from nearly every other home in Wisconsin at that time. Not to impress, but to endure. Braebourne wasn't just an estate. Even here, in his grand setting, there are signs of a man who still cared about daily rituals and personal pursuits. Today, the estate is often referred to as the Murphy Coles home, reflecting the families who shaped its history. While much of the original land has changed over time, the heart of Braebourne remains the same. And when you stand inside it, you don't just feel wealth, you feel intention. Braebourne wasn't built just because Frank Murphy could build it. It was built because of what he lost and what he chose to protect. Architecture doesn't always tell us everything, but sometimes, if you listen closely, it tells you exactly enough. I hope you enjoyed this tour through Braebourne. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next tour.